Jaya Madhava Jaya Kunjabihari Jaya Nath Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajajanarajana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Nananjana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajajanarajana Jaya Rajajanarajana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajajanarajana Jaya Jamuna Thiravanachari Jaya Kunjabihari Jaya Jamuna Thiravanachari Jaya Kunjabihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, Chapter 12, Text 168. Sarvakya Prabhu Janin Jare Jai Bhai. Tare Tare She Tehaya Swarup Dwarai. Sarvakya Prabhu Janin Jare Jai Bhaya. Tare Tare She Deoya Swarup Dwaraya. Someone
Sarvakya Prabhu Janin Jai Bhai.
Sarvakya Prabhu Janin Jai Bhai.
Sarvakya Prabhu Janin Jai Bhai. Tare Tare Sei Devai Swarup Dharai. Sarvakya Janin Jai Bhai.
Ladies. Sarvagya Prabhu, the omniscient Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Janin knows. Jare to whom? Yea, whatever. Bhai appeals. Tare tare unto each person. She that. Teo yai orders to administer. Swarup dwarai by Swarup Damodar. Since Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is omniscient, he knew what types of preparations each person liked. He therefore had Swarup Damodar deliver these preparations to each devotee to his full satisfaction. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadhati Shapadhantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Pradijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lolita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vansha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sarvagya Prabhu Jane Jare Jai Bhai Tare Tare She Doyai Swarup Dwarai. The pastime of cleaning the Gundicha temple has been completed, and Sankirtan was performed, and now the devotees are honoring Sri Krishna Prasadam. There's a feedback on this. Now the devotees are honoring Sri Krishna Prasadam. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is directing the servers how to serve. His Holiness Bhakti Charumarsh, in his course on Vaishnava etiquette, which I attended many years ago, had a section in which he discussed the serving of Sri Krishna Prasadam. As we know, this is one of the exchanges in loving dealings between devotees. Punkte bhojayate chaiva. To give some prasadam to the devotee and to accept prasadam from the devotees. So there's, in the Hindu culture generally, and especially in the among the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, honoring prasadam is a big deal, and it's done with culture and refinement. It's not just haphazard or a matter of efficient distribution. But these are, first of all, we're honoring Krishna Prasadam. We're meant to recognize the presence of Lord Krishna in the form of prasadam. And we have the opportunity for loving exchanges with the devotees. So the system is that prasadam is distributed little to everyone, and then we see how it's going. By seeing the plate, you can see who's gone where. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't have to do that. Sarvagya Prabhu, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriday Sarjanatistiti. He knew exactly what everyone appreciated most. But even without being omniscient, still you can do pretty well. You just look at the plate. And the items that are gone are the items that the person honoring prasadam has appreciated the most, or is, if not appreciated the most, is in possible want of. Whether it may be rice, it may be chapati, it may be this or that sabji, whatever it is, what's gone is a candidate for replacement. So one can see that. And when there are gatherings of devotees, then a good practice is one person just oversees the distribution. And then there are distributors, they're distributing, but the overseer can see, oh, this person needs more this person needs more that. You haven't given this to this. So he's overseeing. When they're in larger gatherings, this is there. And the servers, generally they're chosen from among the advanced devotees. We sometimes allocate the tasks to the most neophyte person. You do it. But who's distributing prasadam here? Swarup Damodar Goswami, most intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is distributing prasadam to the devotees. So in 26 Second Avenue, Prabhupada was the distributor. So when the advanced distribute devotees or senior devotees distribute prasadam, then it's expected they'll do it with expertise, they'll do it with affection, and then they'll do it, yes, with expertise and affection, and then everyone relishes more. In our Vrindavan temple, let me think just for a moment. Yes, in our Vrindavan temple, some of you might remember, our Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu used to distribute Charnamrita. And just his affection was as valuable as the Charnamrita, if not more. He would distribute so lovingly that all the devotees would feel so much happiness and so much so much happiness in their hearts. He could have had it done by a machine or by a paid person or some new man. Okay, you sit and distribute Charanamrita. You can't do anything else. Go do this. But when it was distributed by such a wonderful and advanced devotee, then everyone felt so much happiness. So if the advanced or senior devotees can serve, then that's very nice. And it's also good for those who serve. They can remember that we're not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We're servants, and we're servants of the devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or anyone who's careful, can see here's what they need more of. And so they're keen. Yes, take more, take more, take more. You like this item, you take more. And they don't hold back that we only have a little bit of this and the servers haven't been served yet. Take everything. Jagadananda Beirdai Pariveshan Korite Prabhur Pate Bhalo Drabya Dena Achambite. Jagadananda went to distribute prasadam. And suddenly he placed all the first, now I've skipped something, have I? No, I haven't. Okay. But backing up, in the previous verse, 167, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kohe more deha lafra vyanjani, pita pana amrit gutika deha bhakta gone. You can give me some lafra. Lafra means very common, nice but common vegetable preparation, different vegetables mixed together. That's lafra. So you give me the lafra, and the pita pana amrita gutika, the really great super stuff, the rich sweets and the cakes and the sweet rice. You can give that to the other devotees, Bhaktagani. So now Jagadananda is serving, and suddenly he placed all the first-class preparations on the plate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is another feature of Vaishnava dealings. Actually, Indian culture in general, but the Vaishnavas are not left out. That the person receiving prasad, just give me a little bit, little something. Not very, something simple. And the host is equal, here. Take more, take all the rich things, take everything that's special and nice. They're king. No. Yes. So there's this competition. Sannyasis have to endure this a lot. No, just give a little simple, no, we've made this for you, we've made that for you. So this was going on, and Jagadananda. So Jagadananda Pandit is the dear associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who always wants to give Chaitanya Mahaprabhu more comfort, more comfort, more enjoyment, more nice things. And we hear elsewhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita that he arranged for some first-class massage oil for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying on just on the ground, so he made he wanted to give Mahaprabhu a mattress so that he wouldn't be inconvenience. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is this oil? Next thing you'll want to have a masseur and and now you're giving me this mattress. Next thing it'll be a bed. And I'm a sannyasi. I'm not supposed to get all of this stuff. He went so far that, what is this oil? And Jagadananda, he has a stormy mood. Oil? What oil? I never brought you any oil. Smash the oil on the ground. And then locked himself up in a room and wouldn't eat, wouldn't say anything. You're rejecting, then I've had it. I didn't bring any oil, and I'm not talking, I'm not eating. Stormy personality. Then after some days, maybe after some time, Jagadananda, could you cook for me? Then Jagadananda, yes, with great happiness, he was cooking for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to eat everything. He was in fear that if I refuse anything, then Jagadananda will become stormy again. And so he was accepting everything. It's said that Jagadananda was the incarnation of Satyabhama Devi, the wife of Lord Krishna. Among the wives of Lord Krishna, Rukmini is very submissive and shy. So when Krishna, even went so far as to, Krishna, just to get her a little something out of her in terms of anger, because in household dealings this is happiness. We tease the wife or we tease the husband, and then there's some little happy battle, and in this way the householders enjoy. But Rukmini, he couldn't get any a cross word out of her. So then finally he said that, I've been thinking that, you could have had so many princes, they all wanted to marry you. Shishupal was totally enamored of you, and so many others also. And instead you chose me. And really you've made the wrong choice, because I'm so unqualified. I'm afraid of all the other kings, and I'm so afraid I made my headquarters out in the middle of the sea so that no one can get at me. I'm not very much attached to householder life. My devotees are not interested in householder life, so I'm not really interested in householder life anyway. So in many ways he began deprecating himself. And finally it came to the point where he indicated that, well, now, better late than never. You made a mistake in your choice of husbands, but still, they're all there. They're waiting for you. You can give me up and choose one of them. So, essentially, he's proposing divorce. He went through so much trouble to marry her, but now he's proposing divorce. And Rukmini just fainted, like a palm struck by a storm. It just falls, and that's that. So Rukmini just fainted. And then Krishna had to, that's all right, I was just teasing. So that's Rukmini. And Satyabhama is just the other. You gave Rukmini a parijata flower, what about me? This isn't fair. Why should she be getting a parijata? That's all right, I'll give you the whole tree. So Satyabhama's stormy, and Jagadananda is said to be the incarnation of Satyabhama Devi. And Satyabhama is not just stormy, she's also, of course, keen to serve Krishna with devotion and give him happiness. So Jagadananda suddenly places all the first-class items on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's plate. Yadyapi dile Prabhu tare koren rosh, bole chale tabu dina dile she shantosh. When such nice prasadam was put on the plate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord was outwardly very angry. Nonetheless, when the preparations were placed on his plate, sometimes by tricks and sometimes by force, the Lord was satisfied. So bole chole, somehow or other. And we see this down to the day. You're not looking, and then suddenly, sweet rice descends on your plate. These things are still known to go on. So these are pleasing dealings. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I told you not to do this and not to. But inwardly, he's pleased. This is devotion. I was talking with one of my friends, Yudhisthira, in fact, one of my friends in Bombay. He said, if we go to some wedding feast or something, unless they tell us 10 times to take something, we feel that we weren't welcomed. So this is the culture. No, take more, take more, take more, and even by tricks and by force. So therefore, sometimes when the sannyasis will sit for prasadam, there's a mantra that begins Savadan, which can be translated as caution or also danger. Watch out. Where would you like to sit? There's space here. Hare Krishna. And darshan comes a little later. Is that all right? Good. And what time is the darshan? 8:15. 8:15 there'll be darshan. Okay. Punaropi she drobya kore nirikshan tare bhaye prabhu kichu koren bhokshon. When the food was thus delivered, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at it for some time. Nirikshan is looking, inspecting. Being afraid of Jagadananda, he finally ate something. He did not dare refuse. So he's looking and then he takes something. Nakaile Jagadananda Koribe Upavash Tar Age Kichukana Mane Aidrash. The Lord knew that if he did not eat the food offered by Jagadananda, Jagadananda would certainly fast. Being afraid of this, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate some of the prasadam he offered. Swarup Goshai Bhalo Mishta Prasad La Prabhuke Nibedan Kore Age Dandana. Swarup Damodar Goswami then brought some excellent sweetmeats and standing before the Lord offered them to him. So Swarup Damodar is also one of the co-conspirators trying to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept this very nice prasadam. E Mahaprasad Alpa Koroha Ashwadon Deka Jagannatha Koiche Karyachain Bhojan. Swarup Damodar Goswami then said, just take a little of this Mahaprasadam and see how it is that Lord Jagannath has accepted it. So this is persuasion. Alpa, just take a little. With the we see alpa soon becomes quite more, but we can't say take a lot. So just take a little. And why? Well, it's Jagannath Prasad. You can't really say no to Jagannath Prasad. It's implied that it would be an offense to turn down Jagannath Prasad. So it's Jagannath Prasad. You do want to taste the Jagannath Prasad, don't you? You do want to honor Lord Jagannath. So Swarup Damodar is very expert. Just take a little. It's Jagannath Prasad. Eta boli age kichu kore samarpan tar snehe prabhu kichu koren bhojan. Upon saying this, Swarup Damodar Goswami placed some food before the Lord, and the Lord, out of affection, ate it. The sneha means affection, love. The Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya priyachati tadaham bhaktyu paratam ashnami prayadatmana. I accept even a leaf or fruit or flower or a little water from my devotee because it's offered with love, bhaktya. The items may be so opulent, so excellent, but if they're not offered with love, then Krishna has no hunger. We hear from Mahabharata. I mentioned this the other day. We hear from Mahabharata that Duryodhana, when Krishna went as a peace messenger to Hastinapur, then Duryodhana offered to Lord Krishna that you please take your meal at my palace. And he's the royal prince. That means it's going to be quite the meal. So everything will be opulent, everything will be first class. Please come accept your meal at my palace. And Krishna refused. You're the enemy of my beloved devotees. Thank you, no. I'll take my meal at the home of Vidura. Vidura was living very simply, and there it wasn't expected that there would be the royal repast. But because Vidura was a devotee, Krishna, yes, I'll take my meal there. And we also hear that when he came, then Vidura's wife was so excited that she was peeling bananas to offer to Krishna, and offering Krishna the peels. And because the devotee was offering, Krishna was eating the peels with great pleasure, till she realized. So this is Krishna. He's not interested in the stuff. Prabhupada said Krishna doesn't need your dal, rice, and chapatis. He has Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambram. He's got thousands of Lakshmis, and there's no shortage of chapatis. But when it's offered with love, then Krishna takes it. Prabhupada gave the example that a child is at the dinner table, is offering the father, would you like a piece of cake? It's very nice. And the father, oh, is it nice? Yes, very good. So he's not interested in the cake. He's a big man. What is a little cake going to do for him? And he paid for it anyway. So, but because the child is offering with love, the father is very happy. Oh, the child loves me. So he accepts it. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that even if a flower is offered with love, Krishna will eat the flower. Patram pushpam palam. So Pushpa, he'll eat the flower also. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was eating with pleasure because the food was offered with love by such an intimate devotee as Swarup Damodar Goswami. We experience this also. You go someplace where you know that people are like, they hate your guts, as we say, and they offer you something to eat, and you just don't feel like eating anything, because they're looking at you with cold eyes, and they're wondering when you're going to leave, and somehow it's their duty to offer you something, and sorry, not hungry, and you're not. You really don't want to eat anything. But even if you're full, if someone who loves you offers some prasadam, then you feel, well, yeah, I could take a little more. So that's the key ingredient, whether we're offering to Krishna or we're offering to the devotees. It's the affection that makes the offering especially appreciated. E mata tui jon kore bar bar Vichitra e dui bhaktir sneha vyavahar. Swarup Damodar and Jagadananda again and again offered the Lord some food. Alpa alpa, just a little bit, a little alpa alpa more. Oh, again and again they offered the Lord some food. Thus they behaved affectionately with the Lord. This was very, very uncommon. Vichitra. Vichitra means uncommon, wonderful. These affectionate dealings are so pleasing. Even if we're poor, even if we're in difficulty, if there's some affection, then we feel, oh, this is so nice here. The devotees in the early days in New York City, what did they have? There was, you could sleep on a floor in in an ashram someplace, and it wasn't great comfort. But because of affectionate dealings, Prabhupada won the hearts of the devotees. So this affection is so nice. Priti Lakshana. Now, Sarvabhaume Prabhu Vasanacheno Bhamsha Pashe Dvi Bhaktir Shneha Deki Sarvabhauma Hashe. The Lord made Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sit on his left side, and when Sarvabhauma saw the behavior of Swarup Damodar and Jagadananda, he smiled. We go through 178, am I right? Yes? Till the purport, okay. So, this 180, that's where we go, okay. So this is kindness of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. You sit here and just see how they're serving. He got intimate, what would you say, the opportunity to observe up close these affectionate dealings between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagadananda and Swarup Damodar. And we'll hear more. And Sarvabhauma appreciated Hashe. He's smiling. Previously, the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had been a dry, smarta Brahmin. But now he was appreciating these loving dealings among the devotees. Sarvabhaume Dayan Prabhu Prasad Uttama Sneha Kori Bar Koran Bhojan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted to offer Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya first-class food. Therefore, out of affection, he had the servers put first-class food on his plate again and again. So this is going on, Anandam Buddhibardhanam, the ocean of happiness that increases. The devotees are trying to feed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to feed the devotees. So in this way, the happiness of the occasion is increasing, because of the affection of the Lord and the affection of the devotees. And also because it was first-class food offered to Lord Jagannath. If it had been first-class food just cooked for sense gratification, that's not first class. That's pseudo-first class. Go to some restaurant or hotel or something and eat, great food. No, it's not great. Great is Jagannath Prasadam. Even we hear that Raghunath Das Goswami was at one stage just collecting some rice, rotten rice really, from the drains at the behind the Jagannath temple, the cooks would cook for Lord Jagannath, or the pujaris would clean the plates. There'd be naturally some grains that would be washed out. And Raghunath Das Goswami would collect these grains and eat. Previously, he'd been getting money from his father and uncle because he was their pet son. And they were concerned about him, so they were sending him money for his maintenance. And Raghunath was just spending it on feasts for the Vaishnavas. And he was inviting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him not getting any invitations from Raghunath. What's going on? So he heard that, no, he's given up all of that. Why am I living as a renunciant and accepting, annuities, ongoing support from my rich family? So he gave it up, and he was just taking these grains from the drain. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there, and he snatched some of that rice. No, that's not fit for you, my lord, that's not. What do you mean it's not fit? It's Jagannath Prasadam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, just to encourage him, snatching this Jagannath Prasadam. So that was also first-class food. It may have been old rice, but Jagannath Prasadam, better than first class. Gopinath Acharya Uttam Mahaprasad Ani Sharvabhome Diya Kohe Sumadhura Bani. Gopinath Acharya also brought first-class food and offered it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya by, let's see, I missed it here. Yeah, so Gopinath Acharya brought first-class food, offered it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya while speaking sweet words. That's all sumadhura, very sweet words. This is also endearing. To offer nice prasadam with affection, to speak sweet words. This makes, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be highly posted, highly qualified, but anyone can offer sweet words, some mahaprasadam with affection. So Gopinath Acharya was the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And back in the days when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a dry logician, Gopinath Acharya would always try to get him to become a devotee. And it was like hopeless to turn a dry logician into a devotee. But it happened by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by the desire of Gopinath Acharya also. And that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went from being like a dry oil cake without the oil into becoming a wonderful, pure devotee. So Gopinath Acharya speaking some sweet words. Kaha Bhattacharya Purva Jara Vyavahar Kaha E Paramanando Koroha Bichar. After serving the Bhattacharya with first-class prasadam, Gopinath Acharya said, just consider what the Bhattacharya's previous mundane behavior was. Just consider how, at present, he is enjoying transcendental bliss. Purport. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was previously a smarta Brahmin, that is, one who strictly follows the Vedic principles on the mundane platform. Smarta comes from smriti, all rules and regulations and rituals and all of that. This is the stuff for the smarta Brahmins, following all these things very strictly. On the mundane platform, one cannot believe that prasadam is transcendental, that Govinda is the original form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or that a Vaishnava is a liberated person. These transcendental considerations are out of the ordinary Vedic scholars' jurisdiction. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punya Pitam Rajan Vishvasho Naiva Jayate. For a person who's Swalpa Punya, who's Su Alpa, who's really thin on pious credit, it's not possible to have faith in Mahaprasad. It's you're just taking the same food and putting it on an altar, and then you declare it Mahaprasadam. But it's the same food that everybody else is eating. That's how he thinks. Prabhupada answered that. He said, you take your apples and you offer them, now you call it prasadam, but it's the same thing. Prabhupada said, yes, but by taking this Mahaprasadam, people become devotees. We see it practically. Mahaprasada and Govinda, they don't have faith that Govinda, Krishna, is the transcendental form of the personality of Godhead. They don't have faith in the holy name, Nama Vaishnava. They don't have faith in the devotees. Why? Because they're lacking in pious activities, or because they have an excess of sinful activities. Even though you put good arguments, even though everything makes sense, just because they're of stubborn obstinacy, no, that's their misfortune. Stubborn obstinacy due to impious activities, or just a lack of piety. The two go together. Everyone has to do something. If you're not doing pious activities, then sinful activities. Just like, who was it? Akrura was giving good instructions to Dhritarashtra that you should be fair to your nephews, the Pandavas. You should treat them equally. They're like your own sons. Or you're the king, so as the king you should be fair to all the citizens. They're praja from that point of view also. Your reputation will be badly damaged if you mistreat them. Gave so many reasons, and intimated that if you carry on this way, your whole dynasty will be destroyed. And Dhritarashtra said that, yes, I know that what you're saying is right, but he's my son. What can I do? And your instructions just don't stand in my heart. Why not? Impious activities. Otherwise, it's a person who's pious or fortunate. One word, and he gets it. That prostitute told Vilamangal, "Oh, if you only had so much affection for Krishna as you have for me." He got it. He had the background of Vaishnava Sukriti, so he could understand immediately. What am I doing? And so, most Vedic scholars are called Vedantists. These so-called followers of Vedanta philosophy consider the absolute truth to be impersonal. They also believe that a person born in a particular caste cannot change his caste until he dies and takes rebirth. The Smarta Brahmins also reject the fact that Mahaprasadam, food offered to the deity, is transcendental and materially contaminated. So they think Mahaprasadam is just ordinary food. These so-called Vaishnavas, they're just ordinary people. They're not even born in Brahmin families. Okay. If they take birth again, then they could become something. This was their mundane mentality. Originally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was subjected to all the rules and regulations of the Vedic principles on the mundane platform. Now Gopinath Acharya pointed out how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had been converted by the causeless mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Being converted, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya partook of prasadam with the Vaishnavas. Indeed, he sat by the side of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We read elsewhere that one time early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the place of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and said, I brought some prasad from Jagannath temple. And immediately Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya accepted the prasadam. Didn't take his bath, didn't brush his teeth, didn't do anything, just accepted the prasadam. A smarta Brahmin could never do that. He put it carefully someplace else and take his bath and brush his teeth and perform this ritual and that ritual and this ritual and that ritual and chant these mantras and do this and that. All right, then we can take. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, as soon as he got the Mahaprasad, it's Mahaprasad, transcendental to all considerations. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was appreciating that he was so stuck up in these mundane ideas, and now see how much appreciation he has for Jagannath Prasadam, for the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Are there some questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. I had 2 questions. So the first one was when we look at serving the...
See, the microphone pointed at the chin doesn't really do anything.
Hare Krishna?
Now you've got it.
Oh. So when we talk about serving the Vaishnavas and this mood that we're seeing here in the pastimes, where it's very much enlivening, like we're all, like everybody's eager to serve, and we see that, at least for myself, it comes naturally when we see the senior Vaishnavas, when they're advanced, like sannyasis or elevated personalities. But then when it comes to those who we consider equals, or when it comes to like family of Vaishnavas or something, we feel like we see the other side of them. We see that there's conditionings, we see there's other things, and so the enthusiasm to serve them in the same way isn't there.
That's why the advanced devotees are the best to be the servers, because they won't see that way. That here's a neophyte, and here's this guy and that guy, and they'll appreciate that here they're all wonderful devotees. So therefore, when the advanced devotees serve, it's better. And if we're not so advanced, then we should make advancements so that we see the glorious qualities of the Vaishnavas and not see from the mundane point of view. There's an incident in Vrindavan temple. There was a big feast in Vrindavan temple, and Kanamakanana Swami at the time was the temple president, and he was also serving prasadam. And while he was serving prasadam, behind one of the unoccupied places, behind one of the plates, one langur sat down, those black and gray monkeys, the big ones. He sat down behind the plate. So Maharaj served him prasadam. He's a Vaishnava, obviously.
Thank you, Maharaj. The second one was, at the end you were talking about how Smarta Paramanas is very much focused on the rules, regulations and things. And then we see that we're following a practice to attain love. And we have rules and regulations as well. So how do we balance that? Like, say, take that example of Jagannath Prasadam. If somebody came to us with Jagannath Prasadam or Mahaprasadam, and we're in an unfit state.
Well, it's not that we just imitate. The point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciated was that spontaneously he just accepted Mahaprasadam, didn't hardly seem to even thought about it. He just at once took it. So that mentality will grow as we serve Krishna and as we hear about Krishna, chant about Krishna, become Krishna conscious. We'll get that. It's expected.
Hare Krishna. Two quick questions, Maharaj. Firstly, here Gopinath Acharya brought some prasadam and he offered it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, not to Lord Chaitanya. Shouldn't he have served it to Lord Chaitanya first?
It's not only a matter of protocol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first of all, he must have been sitting behind a big plate of prasadam because already Jagadananda had served, Sarvabhauma Damodar had served. So now there was a need to serve Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So he took that opportunity. Not that, we all go for the big guy. He saw that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotee. So Sarvabhauma Gopinath Acharya was also not just looking at the rule book. Okay, like, what is it? Well, here in Britain, you have that, rules of precedence, I think they're called. Isn't that what it's called? There's a book, Debrett's book of something, but it's the place, who's what in the line, and what you call the wife of a viscount, and all of that kind of stuff. It's all written in the rule book. So Gopinath Acharya is serving prasadam. He's not looking at the rule book. Spontaneously, he's offering to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, his former Smarta brother-in-law.
And one more thing, Maharaj. Just like there was a series of verses on which Prabhupada had no purport. So sometimes we are supposed to give a class on a verse on which Prabhupada has either not commented or he has commented very briefly. So how should we approach them?
In what sense?
When we are supposed to give the class, how should we approach it?
Well, you can either just wait for a purport or you can say something.
Or if the purport is very brief,
still you can say something. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke 64 meanings of the Brahma Sloka. So you have your choice. You can pass it over. But there's no rule. Prabhupada hasn't commented, I can't say anything. There may not be much to say, or you may give a whole class on a verse for which no purport is given. There's no rule I know of. But okay.
Hare Krishna Raj, thank you for the wonderful class. My question was, we see in the life of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that he was so much ingrained in the philosophy of Smarta Brahmana and the conversation also which took place for, I guess, 5 days if I'm not wrong. So what was the main reason or the main mercy which changed Sarvabhauma's life, and then from because he was, I think, also the head of all the Smarta Brahmanas, and he was also the head of all the Smarta Brahmanas in Jagannath Puri.
Well, various things happened. One thing is the devotee was desiring. in the Nectar of Devotion, it said that's one way that one can become quickly advanced if a devotee is just desiring that this person should become a devotee. And that can be very powerful. Tar Ischa Balavan. Prabhupada wrote in his poem that the desire of my spiritual master is very powerful. And just by his desire, Krishna consciousness can spread all over the world. So if a devotee is desiring, let this person become advanced, then it can happen. So Gopinath Acharya was desiring that why can't this brother-in-law become a Vaishnava? So that's one thing. And another thing, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fainted in the Jagannath temple, and then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya detected that it wasn't a fraud, that he was some sort of advanced transcendentalist. So he brought him to his home, and he was taking care of him, serving him with concern for his welfare. So that means the beginning of devotional activities. And he saw that this sannyasi is very young and very handsome, and he doesn't know Vedanta, it seems. So I'd better instruct him, because if you're young and handsome and you don't know Vedanta, then the girls will get you. How will he be able to maintain his sannyas? So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was elderly, so in like a fatherly mood, he was concerned again for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's welfare. So I'd better instruct him in Vedanta Sutra. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't need any instructions from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya for understanding Vedanta, but the Sarvabhauma offered. And so that also is his punya karma, you can say, or his Vaishnav Seva, Agyata Sukriti, just to have that concern for the Lord. And then, of course, when he heard from the Lord the explanations of Vedanta Sutra, then he was an intellectual. So when he heard these learned explanations, not learned, simple really, he himself had these complex word jugglery explanations. But when he heard the straightforward explanation of Vedanta Sutra, then he was naturally impressed.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your class. You spoke about how those who don't have so many pious credits, they can't appreciate prasad and they don't have faith in it. So when we're out on the streets distributing prasad with books, for example, how can we induce people to take prasad and give them, in that moment, the brief moment of interaction that we have with them, how can we give them some faith?
Well, it depends. Typically people are willing to accept something, especially if it's familiar. Prabhupada said we could offer, lollipops and that sort of stuff to the deity. One temple president asked, Prabhupada said yes, harmless. So if you offer something familiar, and people they all have tongues, so, no, I don't want your book, but yeah, I'll take your lollipop, or I'll take your cookie, or whatever it is. Biscuits, right? We'll take your biscuits. They'll take something. And if they're skeptical, no, my sister made it. One argument or another. We try. And what can we say if people are determined to avoid even Mahaprasadam? Well, we tried, but then we go on to the next person.
Thank you.
On the ladies' side, there's some questions also. And Prabhuji has a question. Yes.
It's not a question, it's an experience actually, with Mother Kalangana. It's she complimented me on the way that I organised the serving of prasadam. Somebody get like this and little, and I even had people swear at me. But she said, the one thing you must learn about serving prasadam, though you organise very well, you must serve with love and devotion and kindness. Not just the rules and regulations. That must be there.
Thank you. Serve with love and kindness. And generosity. Be generous. Yes, there was another. Yes. Wherever the microphone goes.
Maharaj, I wanted to say something what happened between us two long ago regarding prasadam service. With your permission, can I say that?
I don't know.
So if you give me the permission, I can. Thank you. So Maharaj, it was like the opening of the Ahmedabad temple, and I was serving with you to the guests who had come, and they were patrons. And then, fortunately, I was standing next to you. So you asked me to hold a bucket full of churma laddus. And you were serving the guest. And then I was making a noise, like ching, 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 behind you. And then you told me once that, please don't make that noise with the bucket. But it was so heavy that the noise was still coming because it was rusted. Then you asked me again, don't make the noise, please. Then I didn't know what to do. Because you were taking care of the guest and the noise was too much. And then you told me, lift it. And then I done that, and then you served everybody. Then you told me this is the way you got to serve Vaishnavas.
Just to edit, the noise made by a bucket on the floor is not ching, 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 ching. It's something like chalk on a blackboard. Of course, now we don't have blackboards, we have whiteboards, but back in the day, chalk on a blackboard could make this screeching sound, which is excruciating to hear. That's the sound that the bucket makes when you don't lift it. Yes. Oh, I see you. Okay.
Maharaj, you were saying at some point in the class that devotees see Mahaprasad and Krishna as non-different. So, like, does a pure devotee actually see Krishna in the prasadam? Do they see a form of Krishna? And then they
No, to see that, just like to see the devotee, what is that? Yomam pashati sarvatra, sarvam chanmayi pashati. He sees Krishna everywhere. But as far as I understand, it doesn't mean he sees like little super soul decals all over the, every place he looks, he sees, not like that.
So
but
what do they see actually?
But by philosophy and by advanced realization, he sees that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, everything is Krishna. Everything's Krishna means Krishna's energy is also Krishna. Just like the sun, you see that the sunshine coming through your window is also the sun. You don't see little sun planets, coming through the lattice work or something. But you see that actually, you even say the sun is in my room. So how is the sun in your room? Because the sun is not different. The sunshine in your room, the energy of the sun, is not different from the sun. So everyone can see that. So the devotee sees that Krishna Surya Sama. Krishna is like the sun. So Krishna is everywhere. In that way. Sarva Kalavinam Brahma, everything is Krishna. Non-different from Krishna. But still he sees individuality He doesn't see you're also Krishna, you're also Krishna. Prabhupada was a pure devotee, but he didn't think, oh, you're also Krishna, I'm also Krishna. That's for the Mayavadis. Vaishnavas see there's oneness, there's difference.
Thank you for class. Got a question. At least on one occasion, Prabhupada said, mix the Mahaprasad all together. Don't let devotees pick and choose. And in this pastime, it's more a case of reciprocate with the desires of the devotees for particular preparations. So how do we balance those two?
Yeah. I don't know that Prabhupada instructed us to do that, but he mentioned that sometimes that's the system. That in some temples, that's what they do. And the idea is that everyone should appreciate that it's not that, okay, it's the gulab jamun, or it's the, whatever, the pakoras, or the sandesh, that it's Mahaprasadam. And to foster that understanding, the prasadam is all mixed together, and the devotees very happily and respectfully accept whatever they may come. And generally also that Mahaprasadam means little something. It's not huge amounts, but something is given Mahaprasadam. And just like we're accepting Charanamrita, so what's Charanamrita? It's not enough to fill a thimble, the amount that you usually get. But the devotees realize that this is Krishna's mercy. And, it may taste nice or may not taste so great. Oh, that's nothing compared to the bucket. But the humble devotee recognizes that, oh, this is Krishna's mercy. So that it's meant for that, to encourage us that Krishna's mercy is there. And we don't have to discriminate between this mercy and that mercy. And on the other side, the opposite is also there, that give the devotees what they like, what they appreciate. Both things. Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Just going back to the point about the vision of the pure devotee. So when he's in the material world, and as he moves through the world, how does he see Krishna? Does he see him face to face? You mentioned that he sees the energy of Krishna and can understand that Krishna is everywhere.
Of course, what can I say about the realizations of pure devotees? But it's not just, what would we say? It is philosophical, and Prabhupada explained it that way, how the devotee sees Krishna everywhere, and then he would explain that, Bhumir Apo Nalo Vayu Kamma No Buddhire, which is all Krishna's energy, and Shakti Mateor Abheda, there's no difference. So it's that. But then the devotee will see Krishna in different ways. He'll see that Krishna's bestowing some kindness on me, he's acting in such and such a way behind the scenes. Or he sees Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was seeing Krishna. So the devotee may see that Krishna's there. We can't say, no, he only sees like a philosopher. No, he can see Krishna also. But that seeing, for the neophytes, or those of us who are not on that platform, we'll come to the temple and see Krishna. And the Mayavadi, he thinks that, no, that's not Krishna, that's a statue. That Sarva Kalavidam Brahma, the absolute truth is everywhere, but not in the deity. The deity is a statue, so he makes that discrimination. But Krishna sees, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wasn't seeing Jagannath as a statue, he was seeing Sakshat Brajendra Nandana. He was directly seeing the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna. So the devotee, even the beginner devotees, they can come into the temple and they can see Krishna. If they have a little faith, they can see, oh, here's Krishna. Let me bow down to Krishna, let me give something to Krishna. And when he's advanced, then he'll then the Prabhupada said, this Krishna will speak with you. So that's there. But the advanced devotee, he doesn't need to go to the temple to see Krishna. He can see Krishna wherever he goes. What is that? Stavra Jangama Deki Nadeki Tarmurti. Rest of the verse. Sarvatra Hoy Nija Ishtadeva Spurti. Whether he's looking at something inert or something moving, Stavra Jangama, he sees that thing, but he doesn't see that thing. He sees Krishna because he's absorbed in thinking of Krishna. The Prabhupada gave the example of a person who's business-minded. He sees money everywhere. You know, you meet somebody and he thinks, well, this guy's got shoes that are worth that looks like about 80-pound shoes. And he's, sized up the whole guy and everything in terms of where he is at in terms of affluence. Or he sees this person is, posted in such and such corporation, such and such. There's money to be had here by chatting him up. So he sees the person, but he doesn't exactly see the person. He sees money, because that's where his mind is. He's money-minded. So wherever he goes, he sees money. He sees a beautiful actress, and he thinks, "Wow, she could star in my film, and she'd be something at the box office." He's not thinking how to enjoy the girl. He's thinking how much money he could make if she stars in the film. So he sees money everywhere. He sees money everywhere. Or a business-minded person, he'll see everything is like a business opportunity. There's just something unoccupied or some market sector that's not being covered. He sees money wherever he goes. Or a geologist. You just see a piece of desert. He sees oil because he knows what to look for, and he's always looking for it. So he thinks there's oil here because he's expert. Or a lusty person, he sees sex everywhere. As the business-minded person, he sees a beautiful girl and thinks how much money she's worth. The lusty person sees every girl's an opportunity for sexual enjoyment. So this is lusty consciousness, money consciousness. So why not Krishna consciousness? The person who's always thinking of Krishna, he'll see Krishna everywhere. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's elsewhere in another part, how he was tasting a little Mahaprasadam and remembering a verse, and it turned into a whole ecstasy. He started thinking about prasadam was tasted by Krishna's lips are playing on the flute's attracting the gopis are, on and on it went. He just became plunged into ecstasy by taking a little Mahaprasadam because it just reminded him of everything concerning Krishna. This is what we're looking for. We're at 9:00. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Samaveta Bhakta Brindaki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare